Good day, class. My name is Jamie Myers. I am your course director for visual arts in the entertainment and media industries. And today we're going to be talking about the different project options you have to choose from throughout the month. We're going to be talking about narrative video game series, casual video games, music videos, graphic novels, narrative series, animated series, nonfiction series, motion pictures, live productions, talk shows, commercial campaigns, and transmedia campaigns. We're going to be going over the different options that you have, as well as the definitions and some examples of each one of them. When trying to decide of what type of project that you want to work on, first you need to figure out the types of stories you want to tell. Once you figure out the story you want to tell, then you want to decide which vehicle would be best to tell that story. It may not actually be the best option what you think of first. First is narrative video games. Narrative games have a sequence of pre-planned and connected events that have been laid out by the designer. The sequence can be branching out and told out of order, but it remains narrative as long as the events have been purposely placed in some way, connecting to one another. These games tend to take a lot of time to complete or continue to grow the storyline with expansion packs that developers create. Narrative video games can definitely be addicting and have the consumer's attention for long periods of time. Here are some examples. This includes Chrono Trigger, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, BioShock, Undertale, Silent Hill 2, and Portal. Next is casual video games. Casual games can have any type of gameplay and fit in any genre. They are typically distinguished by their simple rules and lack of commitment required to contrast to more complex hardcore games like the narrative games. They require no long-term time commitment or special skills to play, and there are comparatively low production and distribution costs for the producer. Casual gamers are typically older than traditional computer games, and more often female, with over 74% of casual gamers being female. Here are some examples: Dawn of Titans, Bejeweled, Doodle Jump, Plants vs. Zombies, and Angry Birds. Next, we're talking about music videos. A music video is a videotape performance of a recorded popular song, usually accompanied by dancing and visual images interpreting the lyrics. What I want you guys to focus in this course is the narrative portion of the music video. Here are 5 great examples of stories told through a music video. You first have Aerosmith's Crying, Michael Jackson's Thriller, Beyonce and Lady Gaga's Telephone, Katy Perry's TGIF, Bruno Mars' Grenade, and one of my favorites, Tom Petty's Into the Great Wide Open. Moving on to graphic novels. Graphic novels are simply defined as book-length comics. Sometimes they tell a single continuous narrative from first page to last. Sometimes they're collections of shorter stories or individual comic strips. Comics are sequential visual arts, usually with text, that are often told in a series of rectangular panels. Despite the name, not all comics are funny. Many comics and graphic novels emphasize drama, adventure, character development, striking visuals, politics, or even romance over laugh-out-loud comedy. A thriving market for graphic novels and rich cultural influences mean that more experimental, innovative, high-quality stories and art are available now than ever before. Readers have a wide variety to choose from, so readers are no longer limited to fans of superhero escapades or slapstick humor. In addition, greater access to graphic novels such as graphic novel collections in public and school libraries, comic book shops, and of course your online resources certainly contribute to their current popularity. Narrative series actually includes anything with 3 or more episodes that have a continuous storyline. So a narrative or story is any report of connected events, real or imaginary, presented in a sequence of written or spoken word, or still or moving images, or both. More narrowly defined, it is a fiction writing mode in which the narrator communicates directly to the reader. Here are some great examples of some narrative series that have won the Best Comedy and the Best Drama at recent Emmys. Modern Family and 30 Rock for comedy, Breaking Bad, Homeland, and Mad Men for drama. Moving on to animated series. So an animated series is a TV show produced by photographing a series of gradually changing drawings, which give illusion of movement when the series is projected rapidly. Animated series can be for kids, can be for adults, can be for anybody. This includes Adventure Time, Gravity Falls, Rick and Morty, Attack on Titan, or South Park. Next is nonfiction series, which has to do with observational or reality television. Nonfiction series includes observational or documentary television. Usually this is documenting some sorts of events in real time. Most of the time it is non-scripted, however, the scripted version of nonfiction series would be reality television. Reality television is a genre of television programming that documents supposedly unscripted real-life situations, and often features an otherwise unknown cast of individuals who are typically not professional actors, although some celebrities may participate. It differs from documentary television in that its focus tends to be on drama, personal conflict, and entertainment rather than educating viewers. Motion pictures is the one that we are most familiar with. Motion pictures or narrative films is a series of still images when shown on screen creates an illusion of moving images, right? For VEM, motion pictures encompass one story told in long form or short form. This can be in theatrical release, this can be on television, this can be online. But what makes this a motion picture is that it's a single entity, a single beginning, middle, and end story that is told at once. So when you guys are coming up with ideas for motion pictures, try to think outside the norm. For instance, try to choose shorts, or try to choose musicals or parodies, or try to create something for a television outlet. Some examples are A Trip to the Moon, which is a 13-minute short, High School Musical, which is a musical, which was at first on television and then went into the big screen. Spinal Tap is a parody feature film. Wallace and Gromit, The Wrong Trousers, was a short that was both in theaters before a film, as well as online and television. And A Deadly Adoption is a television movie for Lifetime Movie Network. The next option is live production. A live production is a writing, recording, editing, special effects on the go, as it happens, as you need to react moment to capture it. This includes most things with 2 or 3 camera setups that are still cameras that are going to observe some kind of real situation where it's live to tape. These include church services, game shows, sports events, news, and a reality show with a 3 or 4 camera setup. Either way, the cameras are observing something that is live, that is not scripted, that you don't even know what will happen next. The next option is a talk show. A talk show is a television program genre in which one person or more discusses various topics put forth by a host. Some of the things that you would think would be nonfiction are actually talk shows. For instance, Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman. Anytime you see somebody's name, you have one person talking and dictating the storyline. That's going to be a talk show. This includes Ancient Aliens. And even shows like the Eric Andre Show, Wendy Williams shows, those are typical what you would think of talk shows or Inside the Actors Studios. Another example of talk shows is Insomniac with David Tell, which is an older show, but it's one person driving the storyline and going to specific locations in order to tell a story. The next option is a commercial campaign. A commercial campaign or advert, a television advertisement, is a span of television programming produced and paid for an organization which conveys a message, typically to market a product or service. Some of the best commercial campaigns include Old Spice, Terry Tate Linebacker, The Hire, Jack Link's Beef Jerky, and the Dos Equis Interesting Man in the World. Sometimes the commercials could be on television, in the movie theaters, or online. The last option is a transmedia campaign, and we're going to go over it a little bit more thoroughly. A transmedia campaign tells a story using multiple media platforms, telling a narrative across time. Each piece, whether it's a comic, a novel, a video game, mobile app, or a film, functions as a standalone story experience. Here are some great examples of some more recent transmedia campaigns. Here are some examples of some different media platforms that you could utilize transmedia campaigns. This includes interactive billboards, events, videos, online games, standalone games, websites, apps, web series. You can always have swag or gifts, appearance of characters at events, flash mobs, books and comics, crowdfunding, wiki, forum and blogs, and promotional tie-ins. So, do you think your story would be best told in a different vehicle than you originally thought? Thank you for watching, and hopefully you learned a little bit more about the different options you have to choose from this month in VEM.